The 90s were like super weird, especially for me, suburban, vaguely Jewish, vaguely miscellaneous guy. Everybody else knew how to dress. Everybody else knew how to dance. Everybody else knew what music to listen to, which terrified me because I didn't know any of that. Nobody told me any of that. And I grew up in Beaconsfield, which is like Montreal, but it's really not. I'm sorry, Beaconsfield, like it's not. And my parents, they gave us all of this music growing up. They gave us keyboards, but no piano lessons. They gave us CD players, but nothing to put in them. And they gave us a lot of judgment. And so I was always afraid to play music in the house. We dealt with it differently. My brother Dan would smuggle CDs into the house, and I guess I could have gotten music from him, but I wasn't going to listen to Tears for Fears. And my younger brother dealt with it by just never being home, which is a great move. But me, I just fretted. I was like, what am I supposed to listen to? And my friends, they had music. Like Dave Klingler. Dave Klingler, still a friend, discovered Two Live Crew, whose album, Banned in the USA, was in fact banned in the USA. And that made him cool. And other people found boy bands, and other people found Tupac, and I found stress and anxiety. Like, we had the Time Life collection of classical music. No, I can't listen to that. We had weird 8-tracks from my dad that he'd kept of Western country music, but not like cool country music, like Tumblin' Tumbleweeds, like weird stuff. And though we had a record player, we had like the kid music, like Camptown Races. You can't listen to that in your teen years. I didn't know what to do. And then one day, I invited Dave Klingler over to my house. He was my best friend, to play him music because I had discovered music, people. And he came up to my room, and I had my stereo with no actual CDs. Except, while I never had CDs growing up, what I did have were computer games. And in the 1990s, if you put your CD-ROM into your CD player, you could play video game music. And look, I know what you're thinking, like weird 8-bit, like Super Mario. No, folks. At some point in the 90s, I don't know why, but computer game companies decided they wanted to be like movies. And they started like recording songs that they slipped onto these CD-ROMs. And here it was, my music. And I slipped into the CD player, the CD for King's Quest VI. Does that mean something to some of you? To play my good friend Dave Klingler, my song that I had discovered, Girl in the Tower. Now listen, I know what you're thinking. And yes, Girl in the Tower from King's Quest VI is exactly what you think it is. Like someone tried to take Beauty and the Beast, but they didn't want to pay for it, and Peebo wasn't available, so like the cheap version of that. Like a power ballad of the late 80s, early 90s, only somewhat shittier. And I played this for Dave Klingler, the fan of Two Live Crew. And while our hero is belting his heart out about the girl in the tower, I have realized that I have made a crucial mistake. And Dave doesn't just look bored, he looks vaguely disgusted. And he's gonna go back to his Born in the USA. And sure enough, the song ends and he gets up. And this actually like ends the play date. Like, I was young enough that these are play dates, and I don't know what to do. Am I all right, Dave? Good to see you. I'll see you around. Footnote, he's still my friend. He's my dad's real estate agent. We're selling that house. It's fine. But good to see you, Dave. And he starts to leave. And good old Josh Goldberg, my little brother, comes up, and he's like, oh, that didn't go very well. I'm like, no, it didn't go very well. You should have played him a little seventh guess, he said, taking another jewel case of a 1990s video game out of his pocket. And he was right, because Skeletons in My Closet from the seminal 1996 video game, Seventh Guest. Now that, my friends, that was a banger. Thank you very much.